What's up, everybody? I am Don Ferguson, and welcome back for another edition of the Curious Inception Facebook vlog, where we are going to talk a little bit about business, some of the things that fuel me, but we're going to do it differently this time. I get so many questions because I walked away from corporate America to create my own platform, so I wanted to kind of address some of the questions that I get on a regular basis, and hopefully some of these questions that are asked today can help you to get you started on the right path, to building whatever dream that it is that you want to do. So we're going to start with some questions, and if they run long, it might be, a weekly series. I don't know, sometimes I get carried away, but I really want to talk about some of the things that people have been asking me. So what's the first question?
What is the main thing that you feel stops people from starting and succeeding in their own business?
So it's kind of a two-parter, starting and then succeeding. So you start something, what is the biggest thing that stops people from starting a business? I think that's fear. I mean, the fear of failing, especially in the public eye. I mean, that's a big thing for a lot of people is, I tell all these people that I'm starting a business, I'm starting a company, what if it fails? What if it fails? I mean, how many things have you had fail in life, relationships? I mean, there's just so many, it goes on, but there's just so many things that actually don't work out right. So, that's one of the biggest things is the fear of failing, especially in the public eye. The fear of it not working out. Nothing's ever going to work out the way that you think it's going to. You can map it out completely in your head, and it's just not going to work out. And I think that's the biggest thing that stops and prevents people from actually starting their own business or, whatever it may be. And I think one of the interesting things is when I left and then I wrote an editorial on corporate America, and I know it was on Twitter. I had a guy, he reached out, and I knew him, and I used to work with him. He reached out to me, and he did it, I think he posted a question like, doing that editorial, did you ever think, what repercussions it would have if you went back to corporate America, something like that. But before I could answer it, because I was out, he deleted it. And so I went back to him and said, hey, did you have a question? Whatever. He never replied. But the fact of the matter is, if you go into anything whatsoever, a relationship, a business, a job, school, whatever it may be, if you go in it with a negative mindset, it's not going to work out. So if I went into a marriage or if I went into business thinking I'm going to fail, why the fuck would I do it anyway? I mean, you got to look at it like that. Why would we walk down the aisle if we knew or thought that it was going to fail? Why would I work at this company if I never thought that I'd work there and retire? I mean, that just didn't make sense to me. And you can't care about what people think. You can't worry about what they think. You have to, kind of use the tunnel vision. You have to, be blind to what everything people say and what's going on around you. It's just, their happiness is not your happiness. So people are always going to be a critic. So you can't give in to that. And, that's kind of the trap that companies want anyway. I mean, they want you to be stuck in your role, in your job, and not branch out on your own. Because, the more that you're kind of secured to that and everything that you buy and the money, it kind of keeps you positioned. It keeps you in your place. So you can't let fear attack you like that. That's definitely going to be a downfall from starting a business. So what prevents people from succeeding? Being committed. Being committed to it. Your dream, your vision, and being able to see it out. And understanding sacrifice. So those are two components that actually stop people or can stop people from succeeding, is being committed to it and sacrificing. So you have to be honest with yourself. And you have to be honest with yourself in life. But being an entrepreneur, self-employed, it's not for everyone. Some people prefer the safety and the security of a job, working for a company where you don't have to worry about a P&L. You don't have to worry about taxes. You don't have to worry about so many different things, especially the legalities of all of this coming together. And that's fine, but really, is there a safety and a security in a job? Because if they can walk in at any moment and tap you on the shoulder and say, you no longer work here, how is that safe? That doesn't seem safe to me. And I've seen it countless times. There's been so many times where people have been let go. And maybe the reasons for them getting let go are legitimate, and it absolutely was warranted. But there's other times where maybe we're a little nitpicky, and they let them go for various reasons where maybe in the past they wouldn't have. So there's no safety and security. The safety and security for me is building my own platform, being in control of what I do on a daily basis. So, being honest, man, it's just, the thing about it is you have to be committed to it. Which kind of leads me to like school. So people go to school, they go to college, and maybe you go for 2 years, 4 years, whatever it may be, whatever degree you have. How many people do you know are actually in the field that they went to school for? Because, I did a lot of hiring, so I saw a lot of resumes, and I'll tell you what, it was amazing. It was astounding the amount of people that get out of school and they just want a job. Because you have that debt. You have the student loans that you have to pay back. So you were committed to school, but you weren't committed to finding a job in, the field that you went to school for. So for me, I look at it, my perspective, you weren't committed to that goal. So you went to school for something, but you really didn't see that out. And you have to. So owning your own business, you have to see it out, because things are going to go wrong. Or a lot of the times what happens is people, they have that gung-ho commitment. So, they hit the ground running, and I'm going to blog, I'm going to, be a photographer, I'm going to be a videographer, I'm going to make music videos, I'm going to write. And it's great. And then 3, 4, 5 months down the road, you're not making money yet. And so you throw it away. It's like, okay, whatever, I'm done. It didn't work out. But did it really not work out? Or did you not commit yourself? Did you not dedicate yourself to your vision? You have to see it out. This is not, a really quick sprint. Maybe this is a marathon. So it takes a long time to actually build and create something. There's no doubt about it, but it's just when you don't see the money, you can't quit. The money is going to come. Are you more worried about the currency or your legacy? And for me, it was really more about creating something bigger than what I had ever imagined. I always wanted to accomplish something a lot bigger, and it wasn't about the money. Obviously you have to pay your bills. I understand that. But if you have a dream and you have goals, you have to be committed to them. They have to be, seen throughout the entire run. And you can't just give up that quickly. Because if you do, then really you were never committed to begin with, and it was never going to succeed. It just truly wasn't going to happen. So my biggest fear is, not being committed. It's that doesn't really even enter my brain. I'm committed 100%. That's part of my integrity. And I think we just, in our society, have a very strong history of starting things and not finishing them. And I just can't live with that. I mean, that's just something that I personally don't see happening. I'm committed. But to get back to the question is, those are some of the things that I see is not being committed and not sacrificing. So, sacrificing. that's a whole other big one. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be willing to sacrifice to get what you want in the long run. You have to sacrifice now, and that means the trips, shopping, restaurants, going out to eat constantly. Sometimes you have to budget. I'm not saying that you can't do any of those things, but maybe you have to budget and use Groupon, coupons, whatever it may be. Like, you can still do things, but your life is going to change. You truly have to be willing to sacrifice. And the biggest one that you can't use a Groupon for is time. It's going to take up a big part of your time in order to build something. And it's not a 9 to 6. I don't even know what that is. I mean, you're working constantly. And a lot of people, we see these things on social media to where it's like this celebrity, got over all these obstacles, and we see where they're at now. But where's the middle portion? We see the heads and then we see the tails, but there's that middle portion that we just don't see. The struggles, everything that they have gone through. But, we idolize them, and it's like, oh, yeah, I want that. But they sacrificed. They were committed completely, and they sacrificed. I mean, that's being honest, is understanding that you can't live big. And, which before, I made really good money. So me and my boys on the weekend, we would go out. One weekend, $4,000, $5,000, we'd spend it. And now I look at it quite differently. I wish that I hadn't done that, because to me now it's stupid. Like, it brought me some instant gratification that, we worked hard, we had a lot of stress, so you go out and you blow off some steam. But what's better is, owning some equity in a company, having something tangible that is going to pay you dividends in the long run, especially with something that you actually really love, or going out, on a weekend. I'd rather invest. There's no doubt about it. You'll never be great being comfortable. And that's just the fact of the matter, is if you want to be comfortable in life, which is fine, but you're never going to have this greatness that everybody, kind of strives for. I think we're here for extraordinary reasons. We're here to have and live an extraordinary life. But you have to commit, you have to have the dedication, and you have to be willing to sacrifice. So to succeed, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have some stress, you're going to have to problem solve, but all of that is part of the path to be great. And if this is something that you truly want, if you want to build something of your own and create your own legacy, these are some of the steps that it actually takes to get there, to have that greatness. So that wraps up part 1 of this vlog. Went a little bit long, so we're going to cut it into 2 parts, but make sure that you like the Curious Inception page. And if you have any questions that you want to, have answered and get my perspective on it, reach out to me. You can do it on Facebook, you can do it, any social media platform. Just reach out, and I would definitely like to help. This is what I'm doing these for, is to kind of give an insight to my life and what I've been going through and some of the things that I've learned along the way. So thank you for watching. Share it as much as you want, and we'll see you next week.